Game 3 wasn't just another playoff showdown. It was theft in broad daylight. The Indiana Fever walked into Gainbridge with momentum, with belief, and with a plan to push the defending champions to the brink. They fought hard, they clawed their way into a lead, and then the whistles came. A cascade of calls that seemed to punish them at every turn. While the Las Vegas Aces got away with elbows, shoves, and illegal screens that everyone in the arena saw but somehow never registered with the officials. Fans roared, social media exploded, and yet the scoreboard told a story that felt less like competition and more like orchestration. The Aces didn't beat Indiana. They were handed the game. What makes it worse is how this robbed not just the Fever of a fair chance, but Lexi Hull of her spotlight. On a night where she should have been the story, a gritty, career-defining performance from a player playing through pain, her effort was overshadowed by controversy. Hull wasn't even supposed to play at this level after aggravating her back earlier in the series. She looked stiff in warmups, was listed as questionable, and most fans expected limited minutes. Instead, she turned into the engine of Indiana's fight, putting up 16 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks, and a steal while shooting 6 of 10 from the field. She tied a franchise playoff record for threes across 2 games, knocking down 3 more daggers in Game 3. She threw herself at rebounds, boxed out players taller and stronger, and dove on the hardwood when her body was screaming not to. Every possession she fought for was a testament to heart. But instead of that effort defining the night, it was buried beneath the weight of whistle after whistle going the other way. The third quarter was where everything truly unraveled. Aaliyah Boston challenged Jackie Young on a drive, and when the whistle blew, Stephanie White motioned for the challenge. Everyone on the bench was ready. The players pointed to the screen. The crowd erupted. But the officials didn't acknowledge it. Seconds later, Chelsea Gray buried a 3 that cut the lead in half, and just like that, momentum vanished. Clips of the ignored challenge went viral almost instantly. Fans dissected the footage frame by frame, showing how clear the error was, how obvious the injustice became when Vegas was handed points seconds later. It wasn't just a call, it was a turning point. That sequence became the symbol of the entire game. Officials refused to recognize challenges, ignored blatant fouls, and punished Indiana for phantom contact while letting A'ja Wilson bulldoze her way inside with elbows and illegal screens. Wilson at one point was 1 for 11 from the field. Her shot wasn't falling. Boston had her locked down, contesting every attempt, forcing her into awkward fadeaways and dragging her efficiency into the mud. By the end of the night, Wilson's line read 13 points on 20 shots, a miserable night for a supposed MVP candidate. But instead of the story being Boston's brilliant defense or Wilson's collapse, the game tilted thanks to whistles that never stopped blowing against Indiana. Even Jackie Young's heroics, her 25 points that kept Vegas afloat, carried the aftertaste of an assist from the officials. The Aces didn't surge because they outplayed the Fever. They surged because every time Indiana tried to pull away, a whistle stopped the action, broke the rhythm, and sent Las Vegas to the line. Kelsey Mitchell, the hero of Game 1 with 34 points, barely had the ball in her hands in Game 3. She was smothered, yes, but she was also denied flow by constant stoppages. When she finally got a shot, it came late, with the clock bleeding down, in possessions already wrecked by whistles. And through it all, Lexi Hull kept Indiana alive. She was everywhere, hitting threes when they mattered, grabbing rebounds that should have been lost causes, saving broken possessions, even blocking shots against bigger, stronger opponents. Every time the Aces pushed, Hull had an answer. But instead of the night being remembered for her playoff career high and the guts it took to deliver it, it became yet another example of officiating dictating outcome in a league that can't afford to lose credibility. Fans inside Gainbridge knew what they saw. Every shove into Boston's back, every illegal screen by Wilson, every ignored call when Indiana players hit the floor. Clips of those sequences lit up timelines within minutes of the buzzer, with commentators pointing out the imbalance that's defined this entire series. From Game 1, the pattern was obvious. Indiana's physical defense earned them fouls, while Vegas's physicality earned them trips to the line. By Game 2, the disparity grew louder, and by Game 3, it had tipped into something that didn't even resemble competitive balance. What made it sting even more was how hard the Fever played. Boston, in her third year, battled like a seasoned veteran. Every rebound was a war, every post-up a wrestling match. Yet she still put up another double-double, even as elbows and shoves went uncalled. Odyssey Sims 2 carved out buckets through sheer willpower, driving through double teams, absorbing contact, and somehow creating points in a game that refused to let Indiana find rhythm. Together with Hull, they gave Indiana enough to win. And yet those contributions were buried under the sound of whistles and the sight of Vegas free throws. That's why Game 4 isn't just another playoff game. It's survival. The Fever are down 2-1, backs against the wall, but they aren't beaten. If Game 3 showed anything, it's that Indiana has the talent and toughness to take down the champs. What they don't have is the margin to survive both their opponent and the officials at the same time. That's where Gainbridge comes in. 17,000 fans, angry after watching their team robbed, are ready to erupt. And if there's one thing officiating bias can't withstand, it's the roar of a home crowd refusing to sit quietly through injustice. Even Becky Hammond, Vegas's coach, admitted that her team hasn't enjoyed playing in Indiana. She's already planting seeds about physicality, already hinting that she expects whistles to favor the Fever this time. That tells you everything. The Aces know they can't count on another game where calls fall their way unchallenged. They know that Gainbridge amplifies every foul, every shove, every missed whistle. And they know Indiana feeds off that energy like oxygen. The plan for the Fever is simple. Let Boston continue to punish Wilson inside. Establish Mitchell early so she regains confidence and keep Hull's fire alive. If those three bring their full force, and if Sims keeps breaking defenses with her fearless drives, Indiana has every chance to even the series. And when Caitlin Clark returns next season, this experience, the grind, the bruises, the heartbreak, will forge this group into something even tougher. But that's next year. Right now, the only focus is Game 4. The Fever didn't lose Game 3. They had it stolen. And the only way to answer theft is with defiance. With a home crowd as their weapon, with Boston's defense, Mitchell's scoring, and Hull's grit, Indiana can still flip this series. Vegas might have the rings, but they've also revealed desperation. They couldn't beat Indiana straight up, so they leaned on whistles. That's not dominance, it's survival. Now, the Fever have the chance to make sure survival isn't enough. Do you think the Fever can bounce back? If yes, then comment, "Let's go Fever." Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss the latest breakdowns. This story isn't over. It's just about to get louder.